Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to what might be one of the most anticipated videos that you guys have been expecting from me. Welcome to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough of the 8th event, known simply as Please Don't Feed the Vampire. It's really anticipated because, well, there's a lot to say about this event per se, and oh boy, is there a lot to say. But before we begin and dive into the actual video part, I do wanted to suggest that there is some things I'd like to say. This is in no way attacking the team at the development there. Everyone makes mistakes every so often, just knowing that. With that being said, though, I am going to have to make some fun with this. Like I said in part 0, I have to take these lemons and turn it into lemonade. So I may make some jokes to highlight what went wrong here, because I figured this might get the pain through fully. So if the team does watch this thing, I just want to let you know this is not attacking you. It's nearly just dealing with the situation we were given and just poking fun at it. But regardless of that, let's continue on. In this part, we're going to be taking a look at what this update brought in, and you know, the basic stuff you see usually in part 0 is a long video, just going through a little bit of the quest, and then basically dealing with what we were received here. So the first part we're going to go into is what happened when the update fully hit. So let's just dive in. As you can see, not much has changed in my town, except let's look at the promenade and see if it will load in something. Because usually they change the layout a bit. Whenever it loads, that's fine, just let it slowly pop in there. Any minute now. And there we go. Ish. Yeah. So it looks like it's pretty much the same as before, except now those items are not there. So, okay. I'm intrigued to see how this turns out. And, yeah, no added land or anything like that, as to be expected at this point. But, I'm always... Oh, yeah, and I've gotten new land, so there we go. Hooray! I'm slowly chipping away at getting everything here, so it's just the long haul. I only need 4 lands left, so that's interesting. And of course, like everything else, we take a look at the book section to see if anything new got added, and no, it does not, like you've been it's the general stuff like before. And then of course we get the mysterious castle up there. So eventually we get this, the game's being updated, Goosebumps Squad! That's just, really popping right there. But eventually, once the update's done, we get this. Please Don't Feed the Vampire. A movie is being filmed on HorrorTown. Try on vampire teeth, participate in the casting, and escape from Countess Yvonne? Alright, already I'm kind of seeing how interesting this is. Now, I'm going to take a quick guess on why I think in this part, like, they're doing a film thing. Anyways, typical thing, a seasonal event has arrived in HorrorTown. Complete the blah 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 blah. It's same old, same old. 13 days. Huh. Okay, well this is going to be a short one. Also, I love how Fifi looks creepy there. Plays animation, craft new items, play a new scene. Typical fanfare, as we've seen. So let's take a look. So we got Fifi and Countess Giovanni. Oh, both of them cost $450. Ooh, that's expensive. Alright, we got crate box. Okay, well, she doesn't drop anything. And nothing there for dropping there. We got a large box. A creepy tree. Let's just call it a creepy tree that drops blood every 3 hours. It's a premium. Vampire coffin every 6 hours. H and promenade. Oh, man, that's a lot. Anyways, vintage, camera stuff, film stuff, tents, movie cameras, lights, candle, a director's chair. Okay, so it's not too long, so that's okay. And, ooh, vampire altar. Hey now, that looks pretty decent as a prize. 20%, That looks pretty cool. Alright, let's see this. 9 vampire repellent. Need to craft a costume shop. 9 vampire costumes. Okay. Small packets. Then need 9. That's for the new set. Alright. And I'm assuming this here, the 9 vampire kits. Okay, so most of the stuff we're going to do a costume shop. I'm assuming the costume shop is the premium stuff. If you've seen my Crafting 101, you probably already know this. This is going to be, I'm going to talk more about that later, but yeah. So there's the crafting shop. That is the event area, so it's like a little director's show. And this is, I guess, the filming set. Okay, so this is where we're going to spawn our characters and get that. And it seems like both Giovanni and Fifi is needed in order to get 90%. So that's kind of crappy. Okay, well, let's look at this, what we're dealing with. Costume shop. There is a vampiric potion. You need a blood flask. Have Mrs. Mar perform. Haunted essence. Have Marty do something. Red dye. Oh, okay, so we used, I think it's chemical Y. Oh, vampiric food. Canned foods we need for that. Vampiric makeup. Okay, so I'm seeing that you're using normal common items. Okay, so vampiric repellents. Alright. Vampire thieves. Alright. Vampire cloak. You need a silk cloak for that one. Vampire costume. And then the vampiric kit. Okay. Oh. Ooh. I can see this is going to be a little bit better. Okay. $14.99 for this. Let's see this. 500 film, 280 that. That's expensive. Alright, and then you get this vampire, you know, the common, here's an add-on thing, and oh my god, that's expensive, man. Compared to normal, that's a little bit high. Vampire task, you need all this stuff here. Yeah, you know what, not worth it. But yeah, unique item and all that. That's a little bit high than normal. Now, that being said, though, you know I'm going to buy regardless because, like I said before, I do it so you don't have to. I suffer for it so you don't have to. And yet, no book added here, unfortunately, so that kind of is sad. But, oh well. Alright, let's see if there's anything else that got added here before we look at the quest that Curly has. It looks like we might have some new land over here. Oh, wow. What in the heck? Expanded zone for 280. Well, I have a lot of cash, but, man, that's a lot. And that's it. So, we only have one land that was available to craft. The other one's a little bit too expensive for freemium players, so that's always nice. That's well done. Alright, now. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and start off the quest. Maybe it'll give us a good insight of what expecting for this. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and dive right in.
I hear a vampire movie is going to be filmed in our very own Horror Town. I wonder if there's a role for a very handsome skeleton.
Landing a Hollywood film production is a highlight of my tenure as mayor.
Really? That's the highlight?
If nothing goes wrong, I'm sure to be re-elected in a landslide.
Wow, okay, Mayor. You've really just... Oh, no. Oh, Mayor. Alright, expand the promenade, obtain the haunted essence and blood flask. Okay, so this should be easy. So, run like a vampire for Marty. So, that's the only thing you can do. Alright, so I know what you're doing for the whole of the event. Alright, there he goes. Wearing like a cape. Let's see how he looks. Like a nice close-up of this. Look at that. Super Marty. That's brilliant. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Okay, so she can do dance and take pictures of the event. So I'm going to switch between the two. They're both 10 minutes. They're really short too, man. It's like going in here every so often. It's like, ooh. Alright, so there she goes dancing. I'm not 100% sure if this is if she danced the same as she did back in a Valentine's Day event. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Take notes from the next report and Impress Brooks. Okay, so Impress Brooke is a little bit longer, but this one seems a little bit more higher in price. So that's quite intriguing there. Anyways, we're gonna see if there's an animation for that. I doubt it. So he's gonna go ahead and just go in there. I have to step out real quick because I have to close the door. I don't want any more noises coming outside. And I'm not gonna jinx myself by doing the signature thing for these videos because, you know, I'm more nicer that way. And yeah, as expected, he just goes in the house. I don't even think that's his house, to be precise. Cook some stew. Oh, relax and doing needlework. So that's nice. At least we know that she doesn't just, okay, let's just see this right now. We'll try to see this. So she's cooking stew again like she did last event, so this is nothing new. So that's always a great thing. You know what, hold on. I'm going to try to move this out of the way. So let's just go right over here. Let's just put this off to the side. And let's just quickly see this, and yeah, it's the same thing. Alright, that's enough. Alright, let's put this back in here. Alright, so what you're going to see is I'm going to be cutting in between footage because I'm only going to show you characters that are worth during this event. So you get a good idea what characters I will be using during this time. Let's take a look at Slappy. Oh, I'm surprised he doesn't drop anything. Okay, that's weird. Gonna have to take a quick look to see if this is even worth it, but anyways, Mr. Mortman, can you do anything for us? Nope, you don't, so that's nice. Okay. I guess you're gonna be useless today. Let's just take a quick look. I think there are certain characters that I can use because they don't seem, not all of them drop the event stuff, but it seems like some of them drop normal items. So yeah, like Chemical Y here, makeup kits, and the canned roaches. Okay, so I think there are some characters who can do that for me, so that'll be intriguing to see. I think this is their way of trying to solve the whole, oh, people, once you get this person, he's no longer there anymore kind of deal. So I think this was their way of trying to fix that, which, you know, I do appreciate. I mean, this makes some characters useful again, especially one character I'll point out. But anyways, as we look through here and while the video is going on, I'll talk quickly about with Ivani. So in this story, Ivani is basically an actress in this movie, vampire film, I guess. And I think the reason why they made Ivani a... I'm hoping I've pronounced her name correctly, because I'll be probably yelled at and be like, no, Grim, that's not how you say her name. But I think Ivani in an actress form is probably because of the fact that later on we get a little bit more insight to the story and a little bit more lore within this game. And it's probably a nod to the Goosebumps movie because she was, like I said, featured in there, and that it said that she was the husband to Count Nightwing, despite the fact that where Count Nightwing reside in the book had nothing said about her. So it's assumed that this was their way of going like, well, I mean, the horror movie book kind of said something like, or the horror Goosebumps movie, it said something about her and him together, so here's a little nod to that she's an actress, because why not? Because how else are you going to turn this into an event? And I'm quite surprised too that this became an event because, well, not only an event but also a film event of all things. Like, here's the thing, and I'm just showing off like where you can craft the canned roaches and all that stuff. But here's the thing. I'd always expect the film thing event would be something along the lines of like, who you call it? Anyway, so he is useful for like the canned chemical thing. Let's see, the next useful character is Dustin. You can have him do, I guess, groceries, so that's nice. We'll have him do that then. The next useful character is going to be Dr. Brewer. He can help with the Chemical Y. So let him do that. And Sharon, do you do something? You do. You drop makeup and Chemical Y. But because you could drop makeup, we're gonna maybe have you do makeup because I think a lot of people already done Y. So let's do that right now. Yeah, let's have you do that. So let's click on that. The next useful character is the police officer. She can drop chemical Y, so let's do that. Isn't that nice to know that some of the useless characters... Oh yeah, and then I have the mayor go shopping because... How else the mayor is going to go shopping? Because look at her. That's what she does with the money in this town. Andrew Craw can help with groceries as well as the makeup kit. The firefighter is useful too because he drops chemical Y. Megan can help with that, the sewing kits. And you can help with chemical Y. And you can do this. You can see me jumping from 2 and 4, so it's going to go all over the place. Now, he's going to be interesting because you can actually use him to do canned roaches. So, if you have a Mazo, then there you go. You don't have to craft canned roaches. You can just use him now. Mrs. Dark can actually just give us some groceries, so there's that. Let's do that right now. Next useful character is Theodore. He can help us with some items, one of them being that, because he gives us 2, so he's very useful for that kind of. And Mr. Useless, Mr. Fleshman, is actually useful. He helps drop the cans. Oh, and here's the interesting thing. Walter from last event is actually more useful because he can, if you have the deck chair and a bush fence, he can actually drop not only event currency, but somewhat helpful items. So instead of having to craft these items, you can actually use that. 15 bucks. It's a little bit expensive, but if you watch ads, all 10 ads a day and then a half, you can probably get it no problem. So consider that as you will when you're doing this. It'd be like, I mean, it's not an expensive buy. It is still a little bit kind of like, that kind of sucks that you have a premium character and he needs a premium item in order to do that. But at least he can drop you that. So there you go. You got that going for you. There's another character that's also useful that was from the previous event, and he's actually pretty good because he is cheap. Unlike Walter here, who is like what, $700? Why are you $700? That makes no sense whatsoever. Why is he so premium? He's not very desirable. Like, he's just not like the kind of guy who's like, oh, I must have Walter in my town. I must have him. Anyways, here's a quick look of him pruning the bushes. So that's nice. Conrad can help us in this event. He can actually help us in the sense of doing grocery shopping. And that's it. Just help us with groceries, so yeah, not really worth it. Santa Claus can help us by a few things. He can do chemical Y, he can do the makeup kit, so again, it's just like, if you have him, then that's kind of cool, but if not, then you know. He's going to be more useful for Christmas, so what you can do. Oh, and good old Satyr. He can help us with groceries, and yeah, that's about it. He can just help us with groceries, so there he goes there. Magic Assistant can help us with Chemical Y and that, so you'll see a lot of characters do this. So, and here's the next useful character, Saber. If you have the cannon, which is a little bit pricey, I don't think it's too pricey, and if you have the inflatable swimming pool, he helps drop some of the items required. The inflatable swimming pool... that's a lot. 50 bucks, little man. Put that pan thing in my hand. If the money doesn't show you, oh me, oh me, oh. To censor myself there, man. Yeah, so unfortunately he needs the swimming pool in order to, what was it again? Get a shiny suntan. You have hair. How can you get a suntan? The only way you can do that is if you shave your hair off. I don't want to imagine what you look like without that purple blue hair on. But I have a good feeling that this is going to be the same animation of him looking at the stars and pointing up like he's dying slowly. Yeah, that's what I thought. Wow, so this guy uses a kiddie pool to do this. What a guy. He does help us, though. And here's something unique. Mr. Wood. He was introduced, $400, he's a lot more. However, and this is the strangest thing about this, he does help us drop some items, but, you know, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, and here's the other thing too, they added more quests for him. Not a lot of them do a lot of animations, but, you know, they added in there, so he's very useful in that aspect. But something interesting is he has 2 quests. Provoke the wolves and do black magic. He also helps you with getting these items. So if you have him, look at that. He's the new Slappy, unfortunately. So if you got Mr. Wood, you're ahead of the game. So we're going to have him, unfortunately, harass the werewolves, because I'm thinking this is a little nod to the Twilight series. Like, he thinks wolves and vampires hate each other. That whole, like, pirates versus ninja, vampires versus werewolves. It's an age-old question. Who will win? So I'm guessing he wants to get the werewolves involved for some reason. So he's going to go into this little house where the swamp where the werewolves and the mud monsters live, to TP their house, which again is pretty broken, as you can see him being very happy about it. Yeah, so we're gonna see him just kind of doing this a little bit. Alright, so 10 minutes is already up, can you imagine that? And we're pretty much done our first quest. So this next part is gonna be the next quest line. So we're gonna now go ahead and continue on with this, the event stuff, and after which the next video is going to be somewhat fun. So before then, let's click on him, and let's find out, let's get the next character that does the blood flask. Yeah, so he does drop some items for us, but he's going to be busy doing this for all day, so he's going to run around with the cape like Superman. And now we're going to get the blood flask, and we're going to continue on with the quests. Mrs. Marr is going to give us this, and here we go.
Everything must go smoothly with the vampire film production. The director seems okay, so that's good. It's the famous actress Countess Vani who worries me. There's something odd about her. She hardly comes out of her trailer in the daytime and seems rather taciturn. Not to say dark and brooding. But I'm probably worrying over nothing. She may just be shy.
Yeah, that's it.
Listen up, everybody. There will be an opening casting call for some roles in the upcoming vampire film. Don't get your hopes too high, as only a handful of people will get chosen. But good luck!
Oh man, I've got to get in on this action. I could be a movie star. I just need an edge. I know. I'll see if old Cedar can help me out.
Of course you would do that. Have Marty feel like a vampire like he's doing. Place the vintage cameras, 3 of them, and place place the white boxes, I think 3 of those. So that's a lot to do there, and barely enough, so that's going to be a bit of a grind, unfortunately. But this, unfortunately, is where we're going to end the video. So now we're going to go into the background screen. So here we go. So in our next video coming up, if you're watching this through the playlist, what will end up happening is it will go into the Crafting 101. I released the Crafting 101. Like, the main purpose of the Crafting 101 is a video that basically explains how you could get the grand prize, and a quick little how-to with what characters are useful and what to focus on, what I do to get this type of items. And I release these when the event starts, so it gives people a heads-up chance, because as of late, it seems like these videos come out a little bit later when the event's over. It's not like I can do it back then where I can just go, oh, here's the things. Especially with me getting busier and more videos and ideas coming through, there's going to be a chance that this is not going to be the case moving forward. But again, if you're watching this video through a playlist, the next video is going to be the Crafting 101 I released during the event's playthrough. But if you're watching this on release day, after the Crafting 101, it will be part 2. And part 2 is going to be where the fun happens, because oh boy, are there so much to talk about with that one. But I'll leave you with that. So with that being said, I'll be seeing you next time when we start to dive in deep with the issues.